Alright, welcome back. We are here playing Luxemburg, and we are trying to get the luxurious Luxemburg achievement. Last episode we did our starting steps, as well as passed 14 laws and really got everything set up. We got into Prussia's market and owed them an obligation, and they tried to call it in order to get us to become their protectorate, and we said no, and then this made our relationships negative, or made it below cordial. And when you're below cordial, you automatically break customs union. So now we're out of their customs union. We're running a whole bunch of deficits, and we're in a really tight spot. Or not deficits, but shortages of every type of good. Now, we absolutely have to get inside someone's market right now. And I did a little bit of a run through with this for like 10 minutes, trying to just tough it out and import and export stuff, and it was just not worth it. We were kind of making the economy work, but the main reason it's not worth it is because we're not growing our population anymore. When you're inside someone else's market, you can siphon off pops from them, and this is very, very, very strong, and so we have to be inside someone else's market. So we're going to bite the bullet and ask to become France's protectorate. The reason being is they're both domineering, so we can't get in the nice way, and the third option, which is Great Britain, we don't have good relationships with already, and they are neutral, and so it's going to be too difficult for us to get in. We just want to keep this run going and try and get the achievement as quickly as possible in terms of real time, except for when I'm pausing and explaining at the start, at the end of episodes, and talking about stuff. If you wanted to try and make this work, what you would have to do is you would have to take a look at everything that you have shortage of, import it, and then export everything that you have super cheap, so all the finished goods. And this would be kind of the way you would go about it. And even still, it would be really hard to make the market work because you're just eating so much in terms of tariffs. You would make a lot of tariff money, but it's just... it's not going to work, especially... Actually, no, we would make no tariff money because we have free trade. Instead, we would just be making them a bunch of tariff money. But we would be able to get the goods cheaper. But even still, we're just going to go into France's market. We're going to become their suzerain. And this long run will probably allow us to maybe have a go at Belgium at some point. Now, the downside, the potential downside of what could happen here is they might try and annex us. So we'll have a see of what happens. But we will... Yeah, okay. So we become their protectorate. Very nice. Hopefully they change their attitude from domineering. But this should clear up a bunch of our shortages. We're no longer running shortages and everything. Stuff's all balancing out. Although, what is this? Okay, so previous shortages are having a lingering penalty, but we are off and away again. And we are trying to make our economy a little bit more resilient here. Let's see. Is there any sort of stuff we need to care about in the France's market that we should worry about? No, not really. Okay, all this is pretty much okay. The only thing we would want to do in terms of trade routes is export ourselves in order to make the goods that we are exporting a little bit more expensive, the goods that we are producing at least. And so this is probably what we're going to try and do, is we're going to export for stuff. Ooh, we need to import dyes to the market, I guess. So dyes and fertilizer and explosive. What? It's such a small supply. And there is no shortage of dyes. I'm confused. Maybe I need to let this tick a little bit more? It's not saying any shortages except for the explosives. I will turn the explosives off in all of my places. Alright. And I think that, let's take a look at our infrastructure. This is kind of something we have to watch on a continual basis. Is, are we overproducing infrastructure? We will be if we don't finish this rail before anything else. So we'll kick the rail to the top of the queue. We have a construction center going. We're kind of making a little bit of money. This is good. Rousing speech captivates the public. I think we will take the or actually, we don't really need the industrialists anymore. We will take the enactment chance. We've kind of passed all the laws we want the industrialists for. We wanted to kind of start transitioning to the labor unions a little bit. Once we get this healthcare system through, at least. So that's kind of the direction we're taking in terms of the laws, which is what we're working on now. Let's take a quick look at this. And just a quick reminder why... One thing is we want to really focus on our industries, specifically, and build them tall, the three that we need for the achievement. And a big part of why this is good is the economies of scale bonus. The economies of scale bonus scales bigger and bigger and bigger. The more buildings you have, the more useful each additional building is. For example, when you go from the first building to the second building will produce an additional 1% in the economies of scale bonus, and it will give 1% to the first building that was already constructed for a total of 2 extra percents. So building the second building it builds effectively 102% of a building. When you build the 51st building, which is the max economy of scale bonus of 50, then it's like building 200% of a building, the 50 on the second building, or the 51st building itself, and the 50 on the previous 50 buildings, going from 49% to 50%. This is why this mechanic is so strong, and why you want to try and kind of get buildings to 51 as fast as possible. The reason why we just don't build 51 furniture manufactories and nothing else is because there's not enough demand for it. So you have to kind of balance what's profitable and what has demand with also trying to build up tall in a general sense. All right, let's take a look. Kindly burn this letter. All right, we'll take popularity, because popularity is a nicer lagging thing. We don't care about this election, but future elections, we do want the party of the right to do poorly. Although that's kind of a big coalition. The landowners want in there. I think we send them in. And now we have the Radical Liberal Party, which I think we will pop these guys in government because, well, oh, we have to put the petite bourgeoisie in as well. We'll just keep this right now and wait to see how the election turns out. So we have basically no farms. We have 2 farms in our entire country, so we're just going to take this one for the plus 50%. Good times. Now, our standard of living has dipped quite a bit since we left Prussia's market, and this is because some stuff like tools are really, really cheap. So let's try and see if we can export the tools. We can't. Is anything else we're producing cheap? Clothing? Alright, we can export clothing to the Austrian market. And the Free Conservative Party wins, unfortunately. Or no, wait, that is cool. We are fine with that. I wish you could put just you in the Radical Liberal Party, but we can't. So we're going to wait until the healthcare passes before we do anything else. But then we might put the other 2 in the government. The Petite Bourgeoisie. Kind of wish the Petite Bourgeoisie would, like, go away. I guess we could suppress them instead of doing some consumption taxes. I think we put in a consumption tax now, though. We'll put it... Oh, it doesn't even make us that much money. No, we'll take the faster enactment speed. So this is kind of the only run where I've been going for enactment speed by holding excess authority over consumption taxes, because we just make almost nothing off the consumption taxes. Let's export some glass if we can. No one's really using it. Dialectics and private health insurance. We'll take a pause. A lot happened right there. I think rotary valve engine's the biggest one. I guess we'll go for electricity now. Electrical capacitors will be really big, but it's kind of a far way off. But we will, for the most part, be doing only production in terms of what we are actively researching. So there's that. Let's... Alright. We're going to check this. And, okay, we have a ton of excess infrastructure, so we're going to put a couple things in the queue. Just a couple of furniture manufacturers, because those are really profitable right now. And then we will make sure our PMs are all good, because we got some new ones. So rotary valve engine. It's not quite profitable yet. We'll switch to public trains, though. We'll switch to water tube boiler there. And we will switch to philosophy department here, which will give more qualifications and research. We will switch to hardwood production. And we do not have that yet. Okay. We will put these on auto expand. Just in case. And now we can put them in the government, but we have to put them in the government too. Big sad. And then we'll try and pass some laws that they like. Like, public schools would be one, but not yet. Oh no, we didn't have we didn't have a law ready. I do think eventually we want to go towards some of this stuff, but we don't really need it yet. So I guess we just shot ourselves in the foot a little bit there. We should have just sat on the higher legitimacy government that we had here with just the Intelligentsia. But I think that this will break apart pretty soon. This isn't a sustainable block. Having the petite bourgeoisie in with the trade unionists, that's not that won't stay for a long time. People must know of its depravity, of course. And once the trade unions become stronger, we'll be able to do some stuff. Let's take a look how everything's doing. Everything's doing pretty good. Let's double check the PMs. I think we just checked them, but really surprised that rotary valve engine is not more profitable, and it's starting to get there, it looks like. See, it has to do with the price of coal, so maybe we can import coal. Is coal expensive? Coal is expensive, so this is why. We import coal from the Prussians, though. We might be able to get that up and going. Or we could have just put it on and then let the Frenchies import from the Prussians. Would have been another one. But the labor-saving PMs, when we only have 500k workers, is really good. You see there's like a little flat bump. That's when we are out of the market. And now that we're in the French market, we're pulling pops from their market into ours, which is going to be a big way of how we, you know, able to keep this growth going. Because we do not have enough workers as it is. We need more people coming in. We need new blood. Soldati. Alright, so we have, what is this? 3 in the queue, so that's 9 infrastructure that's going to be needed. Whoop. How much excess do we have? Let's see, plenty. We got like 28. So we could do another 3 and then a railroad. As long as this is by far and away the most, we're going to become unbalanced here. You know, and invest primarily in the furniture in order to get a bigger economies of scale throughput bonus, and because it's more profitable, the profitability goes to the temporary investment pool transfer, which is our major source of income for us right now. In fact, our investment pool is growing by quite a bit, and it's really huge, so we're going to add a bunch of construction as it stands. We're making more money from the investment pool contribution than we are by anything else. So if we take a look here, okay, we have the investment pool is growing by 8k, so 8k plus this, that's 16k. That's how much we're getting from the capitalists investing in our industry. We're only getting 12k from taxation, and once we finish more construction, it'll start eating this 8k and some of the investment pool that's already been stored up, and we won't be paying any more, and like we will still be running a net positive thing. Actually, we will have to pay more government wages for the construction sectors, but other than that, now as our standard of living goes up, construction centers get more expensive because it employs wages. Oh, we love this event. We love the migration attraction. We don't care about anything else, but this is going to be great for us. So now we're running a bit negative because we are paying the government wages. We have upped the amount that we are paying in the construction center. The government wages is tied to standard of living. So when standard of living goes up, so do the government wages. And so this will be a little painful for a while, but I think we will be able to build into this just fine and support too. I may have been mistaken. The Industrialists are super happy with us, so we'll take this. The duel, alright. So we have a Traditionalist from the Catholic Church and a Republican from the Trade Union. We're gonna let them fight. We could switch to wealth voting. I don't see too much reason to. I suppose, actually, yeah, let's switch to wealth voting. The reason is both give 100 authority. And I thought of a reason, too, is because a lot of our lower rung pops are actually quite wealthy, but don't have any land. So this is going to help us to get the trade unions more in power, which we need for kind of the next little wave of laws we want. And look at that, 99% pass chance. That's almost certainly going through. I think we do have a railway in the construction queue. And so what we will do is we'll diversify a little bit. And then we'll come back to this. Now, I'm kind of keen on putting in consumption taxes now because we've gotten to the point where we're pretty close to all the laws we want. And so getting them to pass faster is not really very useful anymore. And instead, we just want to keep rolling. Now, long term, we want to maybe declare war on France. And I want to damage relations and keep relations like just below 20. So we're going to start damaging relations. And we get wealth voting, of course, on the first one. So we should see major clout changes after a tick. Yeah, and look, the trade unionists are coming up, the industrialists are coming down, which is what we want as we kind of turn this corner and start wanting to really pass proportional taxation. We're not going to go for it just yet. Actually, the trade unionists might be happy enough with us that we can get away with this. We have an 11% chance, and does this radicalize anyone? It radicalizes landowners, but we don't care. We're going to try and go for this. The rise of radicalism. Let's see. Upper strata pops become... we'll support the radical movement. Good word of the revolution. Yikes. We kind of don't want them to get echoes of the revolution. The reason being is we don't want them to have a revolution. So we'll do this contagion must be contained. We don't want them to rev, because if they rev when we're in their market, that will really just hurt us a lot. So we don't want that. We will up this and this. Institution. One thing about having a really small country is institutions are so cheap. It's so great. You could really just crank up the institutions really high. I think at the end we will need another government admin though. Or no, we can switch to filing systems as we need. Revolutionary for a time. Yeah, we can take the revolutionary. Revolutionaries kind of support a bunch of stuff we care about anyways. So they support census suffrage, universal suffrage, rights of speech, protected speech, and guaranteed libs. Currently we have right of assembly and guaranteed libs, so these guys will just be happier in general. I suppose we don't have the voting system they like, but they will support it later. We do have the nihilist. But it also, if they're all radicals, all in there together, man, we got 2 nihilists, great. If they're all in there together, it'll help everything be a bit more legitimate, because they are all in agreement with each other. Let's go to our buildings. We only have 1 rural building we could switch over. I think that maybe we can start using nitroglycerin. Nope, there's still a shortage of explosives in this market. So we could have our radical petite bourgeoisie die to get enactment chance. Oh, he dies either way. Well, we'll take the enactment chance. And we are running a deficit, or negative right here. So we just plop in, switch the PM. Yay. We are running a negative, but I think we're going to build out of it. As long as nothing crazy happens. If something crazy happens, we're up creek. But if nothing crazy happens, we're in good shape. Now, let's double check. Okay, yeah, we have we can build about 10 buildings. Now, do we have steel rail cars? I think we do have it switched to steel rail cars. Can't wait for electric trains. Really hate, the subsidies are big pain. And they are, unfortunately, we need to build the railways, and there's not much we can do about it. We are about to get a new tech. So we do get electricity. Not sure how much we can actually use electricity for early on. We're going to go this just for a second while we take a look and try and figure out if there's anything else we want. I guess reinforced concrete's not terrible. We do want electrical capacitors real bad, but let's do reinforced concrete. Oop. That's not ideal. Let's take a look at our trade routes. I mean, we could import boom looms ourselves. But why isn't France importing them themselves? We kind of don't want to use our own bureaucracy to do it. We're switching that over so the bureaucracy would be in the positive. The man on the street. I think we're just going to take a look and see if the Intelligentsia are super happy, which they are. And so we will do that. Actually, we'll do this, because we have... Ooh, I thought we had enough authority to keep that going. Oh, well. Man, the petite bourgeoisie have really been cranking up. That is not ideal. What is it we have that has a bunch of petite bourgeoisie owners? Certainly not this. Are capitalists a lot of petite bourgeoisie? Where are you getting money from for the cloud? I thought everything we had was capitalist owned. Do we have anything owned by the merchant guilds? Academics, maybe? There's kind of petite bourgeoisie. These are privately owned, too. Construction center? Clerks and stuff? I don't know. Okay. I don't know why the petite bourgeoisie is so strong. Kind of inclined to suppress them, actually. We could take them out of government. That will make the government more legitimate. They no longer have the radical, so it makes it a lot more legitimate. So let's do that. And we now have laws we can pass that we care about in terms of child labor. And this is why we are upping the trade unionists. The Radical Liberal Party wins. And the Free Conservative Party loses. I think we have everything kind of squared away here in terms of who we want in the government for a long time to come. Yeah, this has just been cranking up. Basically straight vertical, yo. We are about to run negative. And that's because standard of living is cranked up really, really high, which is attracting a lot of pops. But it is also really expensive to employ the construction centers. So that's kind of what's going on here. We are damaging relations with France. Domineering and poor. Yeah, we can't. I don't think we can go for Belgium yet. We would need to dramatically increase the size of our military. We only have 130 gainfully employed, and I think we want to have like 100k employed. We will take just the enactment chance raw. We really want this to get through. This will make us a lot more money. Oh, man. This is shooting up, but it is painful. Well, now we get the radical guy in, petite bourgeoisie. So now he could be in and it wouldn't be a problem. Of course, we're not going to just put him in. Or be less of a problem, I guess. The industrialists are getting weakened. At some point, we're going to take them out of government. Probably next election cycle, I guess. Oh, we'll keep the children off the factory floor, I guess. For now. Not for long. Okay, we do have available construction, so let's take a look here. And we have a bunch of available infrastructure. So we'll up this some more. And what is our input? We need hardwood. Know what I'm saying? We're already importing a lot of hardwood. Yikes. This is not ideal. So we might have to start pulling up off of building furniture specifically, just because this hardwood shortage is going to start eating at us. So we'll do this and this. And I think we have... What do we have? 6 in the queue right now, so that's 18. So that'll put us at 91, so we can build one more. And then we gotta build railway again. Revolutionary that time, you're telling me. We'll take the radical. And the increasing pain. Of course, this is going straight vertical, which is why this is going up, which is why this is going up. It's all tied together. Industrialists no longer powerful. Happy day. We will be taking them out next election cycle, and it will just be the Intelligentsia and trade unionist time. Damn. Alright. I think we take this. Weren't they already led by a radical? I'm so confused. They're led by a nihilist, sure. We'll let them be a radical. Instead of a nihilist, nihilist doesn't help us at all right now. And taking a quick look at the buildings. Man, these are so profitable. It feels bad pulling off of them, but it's that hardwood, man. It's not very profitable. Oop, let's switch to electric. Ah, there's no electricity in this market. Got it. Let's build a single power plant then. Just adjust the queue a little bit. We are trying to make sure that the queue never runs negative infrastructure, because then it just like hurts our economy a lot. So we really don't want that. Man, these are like not profitable at all. It's just all industry. It's probably, I mean, a big part of that is promoting industry there. I think we're gonna go like steam donkey next, or open hearth. I don't know. We're not making any steel. I don't know what we go next here. I mean, postal savings wouldn't be well. We're gonna have to delete a construction center here soon. We're gonna let this run in the negative for a little bit, but yeah, we are gonna need to delete it soon. The duel. It's gonna be two radicals, I guess. Traditionalist and market liberal. Guess I don't. I'm okay if either one of them dies. Let them fight. We're not getting a lot from income tax anyway, so I'm going to do this. This is going to be painful for a while. Yikes. So we are going to delete that construction center now. Which is going to decrease the wages, but a big part of it is the wages, the government wages. And the subsidies have been going up pretty steadily, unfortunately. Now, how much credit are we interested in running? Yeah, this is going to be really painful for a little bit. But I think it'll be worth it in the long run. I suppose in terms of laws, reinforced concrete is pretty good, but steel frame buildings are going to be a big deal. So we will we will do organized sports, let this autofill out, and then go steel frame buildings in order to get more construction without having to pay for more government wages. Look at this though. Radicals are so low. Because this is what it is. We'll let reinforced concrete finish though first before we do organized sports. We should start pulling in a lot more money once we switch to proportional taxation, and so that should save us. Yeah, that is saving us here. Maybe I should have just waited. We'll rebuild two of the construction centers and keep the fifth one down. Revolutionary for our time, it must be heard. And this is about to finish here. Oh, for a second I thought I wasn't recording maybe, which would have been not ideal. I guess we have 14 weeks, so we can attend to other things. Let's take a look. We're going to stop damaging relations with them. We're going to improve relations with them and with... No, we can't. We already are. And the reason for this is we want to be able to declare independence from France when we need to. We also kind of want to be able to have a go at Wallonia. Now, this is interesting. Great Britain just maybe sides with them. Are they still in the customs union? They are. I thought they would guarantee credit where credit's due to the trade unionists, obviously, whom we want to empower. Now, we are diversifying a little bit, and so we're building glass and textile mills, even though they're less profitable. And we will go organized sports, with the idea that we want to do steel frame buildings next, and then do all industry until we get capacitors. So we have electric sawmills, steam donkeys will be nice. It's auto making right now. Let's double check all of this. It's pretty easy to miss something when you're going on speed 5. Looks like there is more dynamite in the market, so we're going to switch to dynamite. Where the explosives have finally been acquired by the French. We are no part of that, but they are. We can switch to electric streetlights. Long term, that'll be good, so we'll switch now. And rotary valve engine. We're just switching over on stuff we know is going to be profitable long term because we're, again, just keeping this going at speed 5. We're trying to get it done in under 5 hours. In terms of gameplay time, although we do have like the speaking at the end and the beginning that slows it down, but I'm just trying to show kind of a quick way to get this achievement. So we are trying to play quick, not perfect. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the fast is kind of the philosophy here. We would like... we'd really like to take a chunk out of anyone here, but it's not going to happen unless France has a revolution or Great Britain will like not be helping Belgium. If we can get help from Prussia or France against Belgium, though, we could go after it. So, time to put some more stuff in the queue. Rail's going to be finishing. I guess the rail is not even needed yet. So we will kick that to the bottom. Actually, because we can build 2 more manufactories before we're going to need a rail. What should we build? I think more clothes. And then let's kick that to the top and do that. Alright. Let's take a look at our unpinned journal entries. Yeah, it's kind of whatever. Alright, revolutionary for a time. Sure, it's got to be heard. Raising concerns. We'll do that one. And I think we can build more construction, but we're going to be getting steel frame buildings soon. I don't know. I'm just going to build the more construction. If we need to downgrade the buildings after we go steel frame, then we will do that. Love this event. More migration attraction. You're telling me. I think this event only fires if you're not building out your arable land and it's really not profitable, and so we're super happy with it because the people are coming just to work in the factories. They're not coming to work the farms. That's not where the migration attraction is coming, my guy. Or going. This is staying pretty high. This is coming up, which is quite nice for research reasons. Campaign financing. We will not pay anything for the Radical Liberal Party. We're kind of just letting stuff do its own thing, although we think the Radical Liberal Party wins here. And, we will be trying to take the Liberal League out of government. I guess we won't be able to unless we do something like this. But, like, as far as legitimacy goes, like, just for keeping radicals down, we don't have that problem here, my guy. Alright, we will switch over to Steam Donkey on everything. Because the thing that's expensive in our market is labor. So this decreases the price of labor. So, it's kind of where it is. You know what I'm saying? So this is coming along quite nicely. God, Speed 5 kind of gives me anxiety. That's like the only downside of Speed 5. Or I mean, there's other downsides too. This is not profitable at all. It's fine though, because it's like serving as a buffer. It's letting us turn on PMs. We are going to need to build a ton of them at some point. So once this finishes, then we'll go steel frame buildings and then mutual funds. And then we will come back to this tree, is kind of the idea. And we're going to be just getting tier 3 techs so we can get electrical capacitors, and then we'll see what we can do. What is this about? Well, it's painful. Well, it's painful because it's creating oppo problems, but do they still want to join the... Yeah, they do want to join the Radical Liberal Party, so we'll just reset and keep it here with the legitimate government. Not like the United States right now. Hey, can't get someone in the House of Raps. Hey, we'll see what happens. It is, as of this recording, Jan 6th, so they still haven't figured that one out. I trust that they will eventually. So we'll expand that. Trying to get all those up really, really high, because that is the name of the game of the run. Yeah, I don't think we care about this deficit, because it gets opposition and intergroup disapproval, but there's only a little bit in the oppo. And we have, like, no radicals anyways. If the radicals start becoming a problem, we will switch that over, though. We have so much money. So, if we take a quick look... Okay, let's take a look while we're on pause at where we're making money. Oh, man, so much of it is actually from taxes. I was going to tell you how it's all investment pool transfer, but that is not the case. 22k is investment pool transfer, 64k is from taxes. A lot of it is income taxes. This is because the standard of living is so high. But the standard of living is coming back down now. So we will get more radicals. Let us turn this on. Oh, it's already on. So we'll expand this because we are having this little problem back here. We'll actually kick that to the front of the queue. We have a total of, I think it's 13 infrastructure demand in the queue right now. And we have, yeah, we got plenty of space. We can, what is this? We can build up an additional 19. I guess we'll go with these because they're super profitable and just kick those in the queue and play it by ear. Let's see, how are our relations? They're genial, protective, cautious. So eventually we might want to go after France here. Like, I suppose if we took Franche-Comté, you know, we could eventually work our way to the coast. Getting to the coast is kind of like long-term ideal situation. But right now, it's not happening. All right, let's look at our institutions because we got some of this back up. Health system's not very important because most of our growth is from migration more than anything else. We could go law enforcement. We got urbanized Luxemburg. Winds will change. We will do the urban center throughput because we don't need more loyalists. We are fine with them getting echoes of the revolution because we're fine with them revving. So that'll be great if they rev. That might give us a nice little spot where we can get in there. Let's see if we can do... Don't want wage subsidies, but let's see if we can restrict child labor here. And then we will also do change poor laws and into this stuff. Kind of should have been more on top of that earlier, but again, we're speed 5ing it through. We are just trying to crank and get this achievement. Let's take a look here at our prestige and see if we're getting plus 30 from being goods leader. We're the #1 producer of electricity, and we're #3 in luxury furniture. So we're getting closer and closer. You know, I have a feeling once we get to 51 of each of these, we will get the achievement, but we'll see how that goes. You know, it do be like that sometime. We will also, electric railroads are also going to be another big one, but I don't even think we'll get to that in the run. I think that's a tier 5 tech. Where is it? Oh, no, it's not. So I guess... I mean, that's kind of, we'll be going for electrical capacitors and then electric railways, because you get the event that gives you the double output. And since we only own one province, that event is actually, it's like absolutely tremendous. And we'll be able to go right into that from electrical capacitors. Okay, so that's the plan. That'll be super, super solid. Then we won't need to worry about railway production for a long time. Long, long time. What is your input problem? Electricity, but... Okay. We don't mind radicals, like at all. Oh no, we got some radicals. Terrible. They're just gonna disappear. Standard of living is just cranked super high. And also, when the standard of living fluctuates, it's so good to have, you know, guaranteed libs law, where it's giving you decreased radicals went from decreases and increased loyalists for increases. So it's like, it's kind of like when you cut weight and you gain more muscle than you lose, or then you gain a fat, and then you lose more fat, then you lose a muscle, and you just gradually like lean out. Oh, that's unfortunate. We could increase military expenditure. Oh, we have so much excess money now. Okay, I gotta get more on top of this construction center business. We're gonna do 3 for now. And then we're going to run a little bit of a surplus, and then we're going to switch on steel frame buildings, which is going to be painful. So let's actually create a little bit of a steel industries to buffer that. Because that should be coming off at around the same time. And our investment pool is growing. Man, we are popping off here. Of course, you know, that's the name of the game here. Is that I thought I saw guns going off in Brussels, which would be ideal. Let's take a look. Wow, there's a shortage of electricity, and yet I can't get employment here. Absolutely wild. Belgium is improving relations. Well, we don't want that, because we don't want to have positive relations with them. So we'll damage relations. And we have mutual funds. We weren't even researching mutual funds. Okay, so we'll swap over all the PMs to get most... So this will make buildings less profitable in general, but increases capitalist, which will increase the investment pool transfer overall. So this is why you switch this over. But it does decrease profitability. Let's switch you to Bessemer and rotary valve out the gate. Can't publicly trade you. Sacre bleu. We'll publicly trade you, I guess. And we are off and away. We're making a lot of money. I don't want to put down more construction because once this finishes, we'll be switching to steel frame buildings, which will be uncomfortable initially. Now, okay. We have, I think, 12 in the queue. That's not going to be enough. So we need to put a railroad ahead of the last thing in the queue. Alright, perfect. Now, once the furniture gets to 51, we're going to pull back off of it very, very sharply. But until then, we're not. If you take a look, one of the reasons it's so profitable is because it's getting 60% throughput bonus. So for every level of this, we're producing 60% more than normal. 20% of that is economies of scale, 20% is encouraging manufacturing, and 20% is from the trade unions. Now, I believe we actually don't even have the tech for the max throughput bonus, which is we need shift work. So I guess we will go shift work first after we finish steel frame buildings. And then pump jacks and then electrical capacitors, or we might even go just straight for electrical capacitors. Threshing machine is not spreading to us. Does this give us anything? Not really. Credit where credit's due, obviously, to the trade unionists. And cryptic letter, -10 legitimacy. That's kind of annoying. Why you gotta be like that, my dog? And this surplus is about to get negative, I think. Oh, we're also, like, really draining the investment pool. So we are going to be draining quite a bit once we turn this on, but we're going to be constructing a ton. Hopefully we build into it and we don't have to run a deficit, but likely we'll have to run a deficit here. How long have we been playing? 42 minutes. Okay, got it. Kind of want to make each of these episodes roughly an hour. Perfect. All right, let's go with the plan and get shift work. All right, now I'm going to switch over these PMs to steel frame, which is going to cost 34k, which is going to hurt really bad. But it is not hurting us yet. It is hurting our investment pool. And so it's a race, a little bit of a race against time, I suppose. So, to that end, we now have like double the construction, so we're going to take a quick pause, and we can put, there's 3 in there, we can put in another 4, and then we need a railway. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it. Now we need to put a railway here. And I'm guessing explosives is the thing that there's a shortage of in all the construction things. So we might even have to build a boom boom factory ourselves. But now we can add a bunch more to the queue. So why don't we go... Not... That's so crazy that they have a profit productivity of 49 and like no employment. It really is sucking a bunch of pops out from the French market though. Because the standard of living is super, super high. Alright, we're restricting child labor, which is going to take people out of the labor pool. What we really need is a feminist. We need women in the workplace. And we passed 1 million pop. Yeah. Crazy. What? I wonder what our GDP is relative to the rest of the world, where we are. We're 17 off this tiny little thing. France is damaging relations. That's a little spooky. Splitters, maybe the devils take them, I guess. I don't think we want... Actually, this government expense is not too bad, so we're going to take this. We do want to get rid of child labor here. France, how do you feel against us? About us? I wish it tells us how close they are. Not very close. You are amicable but cautious. You are genial. We can get into your market. We'll take the prestige, because we're producing basically no wine. And maybe they would help us. So if we declared an independence war... Yeah, I don't think we're getting through that. I think this is going to be the no Belgium, no problem run. You can get a much better run than we've gotten so far, especially if France and Prussia are not both cautious at the start of the game. And also if you can get help at some point to take out Belgium and take Wallonia and kind of move in there. But as it stands, we are probably just going to have to eat. So we are going to have to downgrade construction a little bit at some point. Let's do a little bit now. We restrict child labor, finally. So we can do regulatory bodies, which is pretty good. We could also switch to wage subsidies, which I like. Well, I don't like it, but I like it more. Nobody's unemployed anyways, so that there's unemployment. It's not a big deal. So Radical Liberal Party, 100%. We're gonna go regulatory bodies first, though. Yep, there's only one party. They want to join the Radical Liberal Party. Nah. You can kick rocks. We do get socialism and Generalist, or however that's pronounced. Je suis un chat? No? Bueller? Okay. We're now making a ton of money. Why is the investment pool transfer so small? Now I'm confused. These people are making so much money. Ah, because they're trying to employ. Right? What? Why are you not at max cash reserves? Why is your weekly balance negative? You're so productive. Is it because labor is just so expensive? It must be. Oh, nothing's being constructed. That's why we're making money. Okay. Speed 5 for you, everyone. Let's take a quick look. We can build, what is this, 424? So there's 15. And... something like this. There's the negative we were looking for. I was wondering, like, how do we go to making money? We have no investment pool transfer. Yikesy, no investment pool transfer is painful. Let's see if we can try and export some stuff. We should be being more on top of this, but again, we're trying to be as quickly as possible. And we're going to try and export furniture. It looks like France is already doing it for us. If we take a look at trade routes, I'd not be surprised. Yeah, we're exporting a ton of furniture and a ton of luxury furniture, which is making them quite a lot of money. We get regulatory bodies, and let's go for wage subsidies instead of poor laws. Because poor laws are keeping the trade unionists down and the industrialists strong, and we want to flip that around a little bit. And now we are losing money, just as we wanted. Alright. Should be doing pretty good here. The Ripper gets caught. We caught the bastard. Oh, does this mean I can never make a video for, like, a kid? Or not a kid, but, like, 18 and under videos? Because we got bastard in, like, right here. Wow, bastardos. Okay. Now... I think that we have just the railway. So we will go here. So we currently do not have, we just want to build actually up to 21 in all of them. Because we are already getting the max throughput bonus, I think. Well, we will be once we build 5 more, because right now the cap is 20. I think we need to research the other stuff to make it higher. Right, is it 20 or is it 30? It should be 30, right? So maybe 31's the level we want to go to in these places. Yeah, max economies of scale throughput bonus right now is 30. The last monarchist. We gotta put the past behind us. We stabbed out monarchism. Yeah, the trade unionists really taking off here. Gonna get rid of poor laws, which is gonna further take them off. Well, we don't need the loyalists, so we'll just do this. We're doing just fine on the loyalist front. We want to build this up to level 31 and this up to level 31 because that is the max bonus. Of course, that's going to change really soon once we finish shift work. I think we're going to go for open hearth process because we actually have a steel mill. And then this should auto-finish, and then we'll go electrical capacitors, which will be big money for us. Let's just take a look at through our PMs for stuff like this. Yeah, covered markets. Yeah, France is damaging relations. It'll be curious to see if they try and declare war on us. We do actually want to make sure we get help from like Austria-Hungary. Austria-Hungary looking thick up in the air. We are running... That's a big negative. But I think we can... Why do we have no investment pool transfer? Jeez. Because these things can't fully employ. Which is driving the price of labor up, up, up. Which is causing a ton of immigration. Whoa, why was there emigration? Why did people leave? I'm so confused. That's weird. I'm not sure from a game mechanic perspective why that dip would be. Cross-border investments. We will take that, I think. And we'll take the inactive chance. They will be happy with us anyways. So we'll try and get this through. I think that we can expand some of these institutions. Yeah, let's expand education. We want to switch to public education in a hot minute. And we can expand... Well, we don't have to worry about like radicalism at all. But the workplace safety we can kind of expand a little bit. Let's just do some of this and see where things are. Once we finish that, construction queue, please. We are running hardwood. Dyes. Dyes. Okay, well, let's try to figure this out. They must have been like a war with someone that caused this problem. Alright, so these use dyes, these use dyes, this doesn't use dyes. I think what we're going to do is we're going to expand steel a little bit. Oh, it's not even that profitable. We'll expand this a little bit. Actually, we do need a railroad. We'll put the rail in front. And then we'll expand some of this. Like this is wildly profitable right now, so we'll do this. And this. France is damaging relations. I wish we could make a trade route with the UK. Unfortunately, if we go to diplomacy, we can't declare interest in the region because we don't have any ports. Really, really unfortunate. We might as well declare an interest here, though. Not going to do anything, but... So standard living is going to start dipping because we have the problem with getting our inputs. Maybe that's what caused the previous one. Yeah, not enough hardwood. Of course, these people can easily find employment elsewhere, like over here. So it's not the worst. You know, we have way more stuff than we need. Once we finish shift work, yeah. Are we also not exporting enough? Yeah, so our trade route with Austria-Hungary and Great Britain was nuked. I'm guessing by some sort of war that they're in. Yeah, so we're fighting against Great Britain and Austria-Hungary, and that's kind of what messed us up. A little bit unfortunate. Well, let's see if we can pass anything we want here. Well, this gets us workers' protections, which we would prefer. to regulatory bodies. Let's do compulsory primary school first. And we will want to switch to public schools. I suppose we can expand the university a little bit as well. And what are you looking like in terms of infrastructure? I guess we'll add a couple of these. And then a rail. Very excited for electrical railways. We're probably going to need to expand these a little bit. Support that. Is unfortunate. Well, if Prussia starts really getting kicked, we could even declare war on them. Oh no, we can't because we're cordial with them. Just trying to see if maybe there's a way we can make use of this situation. Can't dow them. Yeah, Prussia's getting clapped though. Our overlord is losing this war. So we're gonna do this one, and then oh, there's still so much tier 3 stuff. We're just gonna keep going tier 3s until this is like a reasonable amount of years to finish. Cross-border investments. I mean, we'll take that. Does that might even neg our relations with Prussia? No. Kind of want to have. Well, we're gonna leave the relations where they are with them. Do want to be improving with them. Can't improve with them. Let's see if we can improve relations with Italy. See about our institutions. Could kind of use another. If we want to increase institutions further, we are going to need another thing. We will bolster the trade unionists on their backs. Up this. And we are about to run a deficit, but the investment pool transfer is healing. France just keeps wanting to come after us. Gonna do some of that. Whoa, what's this? Explosives are needed. And what's the shortage in the railways? That's the really bad one. Of coal. That makes sense. Considering how much of Prussia is getting occupied. Ah, because of this. Because of this revolution. That was a major supplier of coal to the market of them. Okay. Import it from the Swiss. The dyes, I think, the French gotta get them from Great Britain. We can't fix the dyes ourselves. Wow, Italy's and Austria-Hungary's market? Thick. Alright. It's time to delete some construction here. A lot of pain by not having the inputs kind of where we want them. And these inputs are super expensive anyways, so could even just pause construction. Really, I just want the railway to finish. But the construction's running a shortage. Looks like it's fixing itself. Of course, a lot of the PMs we're using are probably not going to be very productive right now. The ones that require coal. Oh, we have coal in the queue, though. Let's do some of this. Oops. We get compulsory primary school. We will swap that over at some point. We'll go to workers' protections, I think. Minimum wage is not a big deal at all, considering how expensive wages are and the fact that we just have a one-state thing going on. Alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now might be the time. Whoa. The problem is if we go for that, they can just annex us. And I think the AI does do that. But they're also getting clapped by Great Britain here. This is not close. Okay, we gotta have a think. Let's have a save. A save and a think. Please? Oh no. Alright, a save and a think here, because this is probably a pretty big inflection point where we can declare war on, actually, we can expel diplomats and declare war on Prussia, too, here. For this. The Rhineland. And I don't think they'll be able to fight us very easily. Of course, we will get enough infamy that people will not like us. But I think we can get into Great Britain's market here if we leave France's. Prussia's also beating Radical Prussia here. Alright, let's just take a look at the sides, the balance of power here. Looks like that's going to be a slog. But this is such hard. You know what? I think I'm going to call it an episode here, actually. This episode, we switched to France's market at the very start of the episode. We expanded a lot. We've built super, super tall right now. Our economy has just gone straight burr, except for recent affairs that have cut off our supply to input goods because of the result of France being at war, which is kind of an unavoidable thing. We have, like, our population is again doubled, basically. We're doing really well on most fronts. This is kind of uncomfortable, the increase of radicals, but what are you going to do? I think we're building a government admin in here somewhere. But yeah, so we are cruising right along to getting the achievement, and I will actually have quite a long think in the interim here, but about what we're supposed to do here in terms of declaring war on France, declaring war on Prussia, and maybe trying to get into Great Britain's like customs union. Like ideally, we go independence here, and we get independence from them, and we take a cheeky French Comté, which of course will cut off market access from here. But this place has a ton of iron. It's got some logging camps. We could encourage manufacturing here as well. It's got some barracks and stuff, and that would be a pretty big pickup. And then we could go Champagne and Picardy. Picardy has a ton of coal, notably. Eventually, maybe, you know, just trying to fight our way to the coast here to some extent. And then also, what we've also done this episode, I guess, is also pretty much get every single law we want, except for some at the very end. But right now we have a government that's set up to just attract a ton of migrants as long as we're in someone's market, which is really, really key important thing, is we have to be in the market. But now we don't want to be in the French market for this war. This is dirty. France is going to get clapped. They're already getting clapped before, so we're going to try and figure out. I think we're going to go for independence next episode, but we'll have a thing. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one.